Hey Pipedream users, I want to show you how you can unlock even more power of Pipedream by combining it with Ask Steve, which is a Chrome extension which enables you to integrate Pipedream flows into the flow of work for your users. Let me show you an example of what that looks like. Let's say I'm a salesperson and I have this lead tracking spreadsheet that I want to be filling out with people as I'm going through the internet. Manually copying and pasting people into all those fields and columns would be a lot of work, especially on a long page like this. But now what I can do is I can just highlight a few people, right mouse click, say Ask Steve to, and then I have all these what are called skills, and skills are either calls to an LLM or to an API. And in this case, I'm calling a Pipedream webhook, which is starting a Pipedream workflow. What it's doing is it's taking this unstructured data I just sent in, sending it to an LLM node to turn it into structured data, and then writing it into Google Sheets. So if we go back to our sheet now, we can see that we have name, role, company. This isn't even on the page, but the LLM has constructed a LinkedIn search link for us so that we can get to that person's profile in 2 quick clicks, and then the URL where I discovered that person. So anywhere where you can right mouse click and select, you can trigger this particular skill that's going to write to Google Sheets from Pipedream. Let me show you another way you can do that. I'm going to go over here to this newspaper article about the iPhone 16. I'm going to highlight this whole paragraph. So there's a lead somewhere buried in there and the AI will figure it out. And then I can hit the tab to open up the chat side panel, and I can chat with the web page, but I can also run those same macros or skills here. So I'm going to run my add leads to Google Sheets skill here. It's now doing the same thing it did before, except it's sending this whole paragraph in, and the AI will figure out that it's Tim Cook from Apple and that he's the CEO, and build the rest of the content as well. So that's 2 different ways to interact with Ask Steve. Let me show you a third. Let's say that you're a salesperson and you want to be very quickly adding people to your lead tracking sheet from LinkedIn. So what I can do now, I can go to skills, I can find this particular skill to add leads to Google Sheets. We can see how it's configured. It's pretty simple. It's basically saying, grab the leads from whatever web pages you're on, send in, this is called a system variable, the underscore indicates that, which says this the current URL. And then here, we're saying we're calling an API or webhook instead of a model. And here is the URL that we're calling. We're making a post request with some JSON. And that's it. That's all the configuration it takes on this side to do that, to call the flow. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go on add button. And so the first thing it says is, where should Steve get the lead data? If I just leave this empty, it's going to grab it from the whole page. That seems like overkill for the stuff I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press on this and then select the data that I want to get sent in. And in this case, I'm going to say, grab the data from this block right here. And then I can pick where I want to anchor my button as well. This is going to be a permanent aftermarket button added to the page, and that Ask Steve will be adding. And so now I've got my button here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move from the bottom right of that section to the top right. I'm going to change the name on the button or the caption just to be add lead. And then currently it's anchored just to this person's profile page. But if I get rid of that, now it's on everybody's profile page. So in a matter of seconds, what I've done is I've added my own button to LinkedIn that with one click, I can add them to my lead tracking spreadsheet. So let me go over here, click add lead. Let's pick somebody else here, click add lead. And just like that, all those things are being done. And what it's doing is, if we go look here, I can see all these people now have been added to my lead tracking spreadsheet. So this is the Pipedream flow that's being called. This one's a really simple one. You've got the trigger that's receiving the post request. You've got a chat node that is saying, hey, take this incoming text and format it in this way and extract this key information. And then we have the add multiple rows for Google Sheets to add all the rows, and then we return an HTTP response, and that has to be something that has a message property in an object along with whatever string you want, and that string can include some HTML formatting as well as some markdown URLs. And that's it. But you can imagine that you can add as many other nodes here as you want. You can interact with multiple systems. You can write data into systems, pull data out of systems, hydrate data, do all that kind of stuff with Pipedream. All the power of Pipedream, but you're now making it available to users where they already are, and they don't have to go anywhere else in order to get that. So with Ask Steve, you basically have this Chrome extension, also available on Edge, that works where your employees already are, can see what your employees are already working on. So it take all that context and just use it can be personalized for the employee so it's most helpful for them, and gives employees access to multiple systems in one place, like I just talked about. Via Pipedream, you can now interact with anything and bring that data back to the users so they don't have to make round trips to a number of other systems. So give it a try today. It does require an Ask Steve premium account. In the description of this video will be links to kind of what you need and all the files you need, things like that. And but it does require an Ask Steve premium account. There is a 30-day free trial with no credit card required if you want to try it out. If you have any questions, please ask them in our support community. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you build with Pipedream and Ask Steve. Thanks.